Filmtrix Politix, the podcast. And you're right here with Cayn King II.
Yeah.
Got the size, huh?
Yo, hey, what's up? We're back with Filmtrix Politix. I told you we have a guest tonight, but before that, just talked about Through a Lens Darkly, directed by Thomas Allen Harris. Go check that video out. That was a great video clip that I found there for you. Check that out. Also, go ahead and get updated on your camera angles and tell me about it in the comments. Let's talk about it. And if you want to hear more in depth, because I know that was just a brief little skim over, we could talk about it in the comments, and I'll make a whole nother show for you guys, and we'll go from there. But without further ado,
Yeah.
bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum, I want to introduce someone very, very special, very cool dude. I met years and years ago. I believe close to, I don't even know, a lot of years ago. But this guy special because we are definitely in a brotherhood together, a lifelong pact together. Very talented, very intelligent, very smart. Love his mind and his gusto, and he's been there like for every project that I pretty much have put across his desk. We went to California. We've been down to Texas. We've been all the way over to Puerto Rico. To the edge of the oceans together. Doing projects, family things, all kind of stuff. And even this show here, Filmtrix Politix. And I want to introduce him because not only is he just doing Filmtrix and Politics, and y'all heard him on a couple of the shows behind the scenes talking, Atum Ra, but at the same time, this guy is also acting in Hewwood as Ace Phoenix, doing great stuff in the first chapter, definitely in chapter 2. You're going to see a lot more of him. That's going to be coming out really soon. We're going to talk about some of that tonight as well. This is just going to be...
we got to build on that.
This is just going to be an open conversation because I told you guys, I'm doing something different with this show. We're just really chilling out, taking our time, fleshing it out. If we're making any mistakes or making some good stuff, put it in the comments. We're going to talk about it. But really, though, Melanated and Illuminated, one of his companies that he's running here.
Yeah, buddy.
He's already coming from the podcast radio world as well. Love his local and national political mind and ideas that he has. Definitely proud of Pan-Africanism, FBA, all of those things, and working with so many different community programs and activists right here locally in Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas native as well.
Hey,
I mean, this guy's damn near royalty, you know what I mean? Well, without further ado, this is my guy, Atum Ra. Put your hands together, baby. Put your hands together.
Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad to be here. Well, I'm always here, so, you know, I get to hop in front of the camera, just like I did in Hewwood, you know what I'm saying? I do, anybody that don't know me, you know what I'm saying? I'm always working behind the scenes, but every now and then, you know, I like to sneak in front.
But this is making this official, you know, like
yeah.
I told you about this.
He made me do it. He made me do it.
he made we were partnered in the crime on this one. We're going down together on this one, man. Man, I presented the idea about it like a year ago about doing this, and then got on the podcast. And so, look, here you are.
Hey, man, I appreciate the intro, man. Look, see, man, I think that's the nicest thing you said about me in a long time. So,
man, I know it felt weird saying that, yo, ugly ass. I really didn't want to say nothing nice.
We're gonna make sure we clip this up. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't want to say nothing nice, really, for real, but I had to.
I'm gonna make that my ringtone.
So the audience can be like, okay, who is this guy? Why is he interviewing him? So, tell us about Melanated and Illuminated. Tell us about give us a rundown on
so,
that, man.
Melanated and Illuminated started years ago, working on the website, getting it back up right now. But I mean, essentially, when I started it, whether it was music, film, podcasts, like I've always saw myself or what I want to do as an entity. So like even like when we started rapping back in the day with the mic over the ceiling, I started my head like, oh, we need a record label. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just rapping. And then it's okay, we need a record label. Oh shit, we need a radio station so that the music can go to. And
so do you feel like you've always been like the business minded one out of the group? Like
Yeah, I've always kind of had, that's what I think about like Baby and Slim, Master P. I was the one, back in the day, burning the CDs, making the covers, going out and passing them out.
Inserts for the jewel cases.
Absolutely. And, like I said, I always just thought like, distribution networks and more so, not just for myself, but, how to set up an umbrella for people with various talents to be able to come and, utilize the foundation I may have laid to, do whatever they want to do as well. I never saw myself as like one to like sign people and hold people. I always wanted people to like create their own entity as well and like move on because my mind be on 8 different things as well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so you're like a fire starter. You start the fire. Absolutely. And hope somebody can take that energy and contain and go where they need to go.
Absolutely. And even like with when I started Melanated Illuminated, that was back. It's funny to think about like podcasting because, I remember back in like 2003, back when, I was in like the recording and going to studios and stuff like that. And like after the recording sessions, we're in the studio and then, we would just have the mics going. And so then we would be recording the talks after the sessions because, it'd be all these different people.
Yeah.
And so, it wasn't called podcasting at the time, but, that's how, we were doing it. And so then, just leap forward to the bounds of what's been going on with technology. And so, when I was, probably heavy on the podcast back in, 2012, 14, 15, I always had to like build a website, build a platform. Yeah. And so I saw so many of my peers that like had content, but, it was nowhere else to put it. And I was always thinking of like, for me, I'm an habitual line stepper. So I know I'm across the lines. So it's like, what entity can I set up outside of like when I get that ban, when I get that suspension or whatever the case may be. And so Melanated Illuminated was kind of that place for, myself, not only my sandbox to get out there and say what I want to say and what I want to do, but, also for everybody else, to come back, be, pro you. And hey, man, me as the entity and the boss, like I'm not gonna cancel you, like, for free.
So when I got a chance to like really see you at work first time, meet you was at the radio stuff. Like, tell us about that time and like what was that? What was that? A1?
Action One Media. Action One Media, A1 Media, man. Shout out to Joy. Joy is so awesome, man. Joy, RJ, J Nicole. Man, like, and so like even when we started doing Action One, that was me linking up with Joy and J Nicole, and that was when we initially started it. it was a place for independent creators. And so we started with focusing on independent artists. You know, we had the app with the music.
Yeah.
And so, trying to get people to listen to the independent artist music. And so then we transitioned from just doing the music to moving into doing the podcasting. And one of the main things for the show and the podcast was highlighting individuals within our community that like not only are talented but also like good human beings. Many of the independent artists we brought through to showcase their music. Like all these people still had charities and other stuff like that they were doing as well. And so to be able to like have a platform and be able to showcase that. And so then, that's how you came across my board.
Which I think we got like a video clip of the A1.
Yeah.
We're gonna go check that out right now real quick. Check this video out.
Being able to shoot, a lot of different types of scenes and things like that. What is it really about filmmaking that really kind of sticks to you, man?
And because there was a lot of people offering like wait and table jobs and stuff, and I've done that before. I already did that.
Right.
And so I really wanted to hone in on my craft. I really was putting.
Yeah, so that was a blast from the past for you right there, huh?
Absolutely. And so, like what I was mentioning, you kind of embodied like one of the, the people that we were interviewing because, how I was first introduced to you was obviously through Mama D.
Mama D, shout out to Mama D.
My mom is everybody's mom. But one of the reasons why she was so high on you was because of the work that you were doing with those kids in Fifth Ward in the community. And so then, it's like, okay, he doing some good work. And then I find out, oh, man, this dude is an awesome filmmaker. And then not only is he an awesome filmmaker, he makes music as well. So then it's like, oh, shit, I think when you came through, you remember, I pulled it up and played it,
Yeah, you did. I was like, wow.
Yeah, because that's the, the spirit of Houston, the spirit of independent artistry.
Yeah,
and so
absolutely.
For me, like those are the people that, and that's why I was so happy when you came through, and then we couldn't get rid of each other since then.
Yeah,
what should I say? He couldn't get rid of me.
I couldn't. He couldn't get rid of me. It was vice versa. Like as soon as I met you, like Mama D telling me about she took no for an answer. She wasn't taking no for an answer. Working over at the center over in Fifth Ward. And just helping those kids just learn film. And then she was talking about robotics. Shout out to Mama D. Glad that she introduced us. And also shout out to Shayla Young. Shout out to Chris Hurst. Shout out to them. Was it Hot Dogs? Yo Dogs.
Man. Dark Light Studios.
Grind Zoo Media. Forever Young Photography, is that right? Grind Zoo. So we all came together as a
right.
It's Shern.
Brother Shern. But out there building the flying car, man.
Exactly.
Evatol. So man, we got all of this, man.
We got all of this, yeah.
We definitely got to have him on, man.
Teaching pot. Oh yeah, we gotta get him on. We do.
Man.
Shern, that's where you at, Shern. If you see this, we gotta get you.
And so man, it's no coincidence, like from Melanated and Illuminated, that like we here with Filmtrix Politix, because to me, like this is just like the next iteration of what I wanted to do, what you wanted to do, how we're taking the podcast and the film and we're taking it to new heights.
Yeah, that's where it's at. That's why I'm saying this is just a different beat, a path, a different way of seeing world. That's why we named this episode Perspectives. And also like the companies, the mentalities combining is understanding what social change really looks like.
Sure.
What social change really is. It's not overnight. It's not crazy protest going out of whack. We're not gonna go there yet, but just saying we found a like-mindedness in the business. And yeah, there's bumps along the way, there's different things, space that you have. And I'm speaking like this because I know there's a lot of guys or women too that are watching this that are in brotherhoods, sisterhoods. You're in group chats. You're working with those people, and there's a selected few that you feel like somebody's not pulling their weight. Somebody's not making the phone calls. Somebody is not making the ecosystem that you created move the way it needs to move. Like, liking and sharing and commenting and all of those kind of things that you create within the ecosystem of the people you're working with when you're collaborating. It doesn't mean you have to have the same like-mindedness. It doesn't mean that my goal has to be your goal and my destination has to be your destination. It just means that we both have a like-minded to say we're enjoying our journey. And I would like you to see where I'm at in my journey right now and see if there's anything that you can help. Just like Rock says at my mama's house, he says, hey, if you're not useful, you're useless. If I can't use you, you're useless. I get it. It's like we're supposed to be put to use. We're supposed to be put to use.
Hey man, big shout out to y'all over at my mama's house, man.
Big shout out.
I see the work, man. It's looking beautiful, man. And like I said, it's on that the train is rolling, man. So like, man, y'all better get on board now, man, because it's going up. You know what I'm saying? So like, man, don't be trying to say boys is acting funny.
Hey, y'all hearing it. Y'all hearing it. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, so we here, man. This is a part of the show. Like Atum, he's a part of the show. He's a definitely a producer of the show. He's definitely a crew behind the show. He's definitely a mentor, inspiration behind the show. Definitely, definitely high executive staff with BLKJAG Films as well, BLKJAGtv as well. So we are here, and this portion of the show is like we're gonna have an open discussion. We're gonna
get your jaws tight.
Yeah, we're gonna build this out. We're filling it out. We're gonna build it out, and we're basically. I keep looking at this camera, thinking it's the camera. We're over here. I'm sorry, guys. I've been neglecting y'all over there. I got a camera over here, so I'm trying to make sure I'm looking right. But this part of the section of the show is supposed to be like a panel where we have open discussion, talk about topics, about questions, and we just talk about them. And we're gonna just bring things up and just go back and forth and just see what happens. So buckle your seatbelts, get ready, and Filmtrix Politix, thanks for joining us tonight. So, man, a lot of stuff been going on. We're gonna switch gears. Like I said, we're gonna talk about a little bit of politics, man.
For sure.
Shut your politics, baby. You know what I'm saying? So this goes along because I know I don't know if I've already, we got, like I said, we got a lot of stuff we're gonna be covering tonight.
First of all, yeah. Before we start that, well, you've been tearing them internet streets up.
Oh,
you been tearing them streets up, man.
Been in them, man.
Every time. But hey, man, like
I got tossed around in the alley today, this morning.
Man. But the truth is the truth, and like I think that like one of the main things that like we as a people got to realize right now is. There's nothing wrong with differences of opinions because, like, at the end of the day, like, we are still, like, all on the same side. And, we talk all the time about, like, all these different ideas on various ends of the spectrum. And, we got to allow ourselves time to space, like you said, flush out those ideas. And also, realize sometimes a person may be working through a phase. Yeah. And so then, true. Once you like ostracize that person because they're going through that phase, like they may not come back.
Yeah.
And, I think that like some of the like discourse I've been seeing within our community has been like crazy amongst, family and friends, obviously the whole like Trump and politics and everything like that. And
there's definitely a polarization. There's definitely a picking of sides. There's definitely like this like you got to pick a side. You can't talk about it and stuff like that. And so
and remember, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like I get choosing a side, but it's like, man, anybody that pay attention to polls and voting numbers and things like that, you can see some of these counties all over the country. You know what I'm saying, that voted for, like, Obama and voted for Trump. You know what I'm saying? Some of them that voted for Trump in 2016 and Biden in 20 and back to Trump. And so, like for me, it's just interesting watching those flips and those perspectives, and then watching kind of on the other side to where it's like people aren't allowed to change. And it's like, hey, these people change their minds all the time.
Yeah. We seeing that, and it's crazy. So, with you saying that, like, how are you feeling about, or how have you been feeling or seeing the Jasmine Crockett and James Talarico case? Where we are right now. I dare to bring up the Amanda Edwards, Christian Menefee situation. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But yeah.
I mean, first of all, like, I want to know, like, why isn't Al Green running for Senate?
Why is he or isn't?
Isn't.
Why he isn't?
Why he hadn't run for Senate?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Oh yeah, I just been thinking that. You know what I'm saying? Like all these years, why? See him going, and then like at this time with his district being, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
But I just think I think this is like an interesting, like I ain't really heard nothing on it, and you would think that he would have enough cachet, but he not. So like, man, on the Jasmine and Talarico situation, it's interesting because it's putting Democrats on two sides of the fence.
Yes.
And so
absolutely.
Like for me, like I said, putting both of them aside, I'm always looking at the numbers and things like that. And when you look at the last few runs from Allred and Beto and whatever, like the numbers didn't look like they were there. And so, I'm not sure. They're saying it's the candidate.
For Talarico, or you said for Jasmine? Or just
for Democrats.
A Democrat, period.
A Democrat, period. Going up against, as much as we don't like Greg Abbott, Ted Cruz, we talk about these different things.
Even though Texas is known to have a majority minority.
Correct.
In the voter base.
Correct. In the voter base. But then also we gotta talk about also how in Texas it's only the minority of the population voting, period, looks like. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes we see 20-30% turnout in some of these off-year elections. So that's another thing in itself. So for me, like I said, with the Democrats in Texas, like I'm interested overall, regardless of who wins, because like it was the same question with Allred. Like, okay, like once you get behind a candidate, like where are the votes at outside of Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, and Austin? Like we know that they're votes there.
Do you? This is a yes or no question. Do you agree or don't agree with James Talarico saying that Allred is a mediocre black man?
Well, so I mean, we'll know whether he said it or not. But if he did say it, like, yeah, that is wild. That is wild. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I feel like Dave Chappelle. Like that sounds like something I would say. You know what
Hell yeah.
Because kind of had a point. But I mean, still though, like if he said it, yeah, like that's out of line.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, but that's still, it's still though, like out of line. Like he could say he a mediocre candidate, a mediocre Democrat.
He could have said that.
A mediocre black man.
I think he was trying to make some stuff rhyme because he's a black.
But I mean, they got.
He did say beautiful black woman, beautiful smart black woman.
Right, but do they actually got him saying that about Allred? Because I just heard about it.
Hearsay.
I just heard about it because like even like I said like.
But he kind of.
I ain't shooting the white boy no bail, but just saying though, like mediocre black man sound weird anyway. That's weird.
You can't say that as a white boy.
Yeah, but I mean, it just
you don't want to be.
No, it just sounds weird as an insult. Like mediocre black man. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say it sounds like some
he should have been careful.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying? With his words. Yeah.
But like if he did say it, like that's out of pocket. Like you got a mediocre black man. Like what are you talking about? Like,
so.
Like what the hell?
So speaking on that, like we kind of touched on it. Let's go into our first question.
But you was asking on the Crockett and Talarico. So like I said, like it's interesting to see like the split in the party to where it's like Talarico is probably more of the conservative looking Democrat that probably could draw more independent voters, but Crockett is the candidate that could probably get more people excited about the election.
Right.
So, but at the end of the day, with either one of them, like as a Texan, and anybody know shit about Texans, we love Texans.
Yeah.
Regardless of black, white, like Texas or Texas about Texas. So it's interesting to kind of hear both of them talk about fighting Trump more than they're talking about what they're gonna do for Texas.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm.
They all of them.
Yeah.
I'm talking about this guy's on his last 2.5 years, year and a half. He's on. That's it. He ain't got nothing else to do. Yeah. We get. You want to fight the spirit that's been brought about of that, but we think the ethers of that is going to go away when this dude goes away. We do, but at the same time, it's like you're causing this mini civil war of the other civil wars going on in the Democratic Party, and then as well as kind of labeling this guy as a racist, low key, kind of labeling as a racist. Like I don't really want to think of him like that because I don't think that's
Trump.
No, I'm talking about James Tyler.
Oh yeah.
You know,
that's what I say. That's what I'm saying. Like it was.
What are we doing here?
It was interesting that it came out. Like, oh, okay, here we go with that.
But then I thought about it too. I was like, but you guys want to dance on identity politics. But then when identity politics come back and bite you in the ass and calls you a mediocre black guy, when your campaign is mediocre, it was mediocre.
It was mediocre.
It already was, man. I'm sorry. Look. You're going down that Hakeem Jeffries team Obama. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. So we got to get some backbone or something. But at the same time, so we got like Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries I just mentioned. These are like kind of the Democratic leaders right now. It's weird. We're in a weird armpit right now. It's like an armpit of leaders. But I bring them up because these guys are still, I feel, a representation of the oligarchy, establishment, democratic situation that we're trying to eradicate. And I believe the far, 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 far left has taken over the Democratic faction. I do. I believe it has, like the ideology. And I believe that it's being used because it's being used as a weapon. I feel that's why I say I feel like it's being used as a weapon. But I'm leading into something saying like, and now you got the middleman Stephen A. Smith, screaming A. Smith. He's sitting. I don't know what to say, but Stephen A. Smith. He's sitting here trying to take the middle ground and show who's right, who's wrong, but he still lands on the island of voter suppression. Let that sink in a little bit.
Suppress the vote.
Boom, boom, boom. Voter suppression. Voter suppression. Not only is I don't want to put this on Stephen A. He's getting it from the leaders. Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. This is what they're saying. People can't get birth certificates. People were born before birth certificates were alive, so they can't get the ID. Don't want to do the Nationalizing Act. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Voter suppression. Voter suppression. Tell me how what do you think about it? What you feel? Just I'll chime in on mine. I want to hear your view. Yeah.
I had to hit the black on this one.
Yeah, man. Look, guys, we're taking a deep dive. We're taking a deep dive on conversations that we all are having, but you may be having them with one or two people, with the trusted folks that you could talk about. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to you guys, too, that went out there and voted for Trump, but you usually with Democrat. I'm talking to you that went out there and voted for Kamala, even though you told your homeboys you're going to vote for Trump. I'm talking to all of y'all, you know what I'm saying? We put the shields down, put the gang colors down tonight. Tonight, we having a discussion amongst men and women, Think of Conan Barbarian days. We're just sitting around. I'm passing around a rib of meat for you to eat.
Right.
If you're vegan, I'm giving you a leaf for you to eat. And we're talking. But yeah, voter suppression,
so man, I want to take two different avenues on the voter suppression. the first avenue I want to take is, saying not to have on my tinfoil hat too much,
Oh, tinfoil it, baby.
like we're all
Tinfoil it.
we're all suppressed when it comes to voting, from the perspective of like a lot of us deal or depend on the media and these sources to like give us information and like rile us up about the various elections. And I think that's one of the reasons why like consistently on the off-year elections there's a low turnout, because they aren't running all the ads and all those things like they do in the presidential year. So that's one thing. Like I noticed there's a lot more like media driven attention to like get people informed about voting on presidential years versus an off year voting cycles. Like we have voting cycles consistently outside of just voting for the president, but that's kind of the one that they pound home.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of the mental suppression for I'm saying majority of the voters, that exist out there that call themselves fighting for one side or the other.
So basically, you're saying like just to, so we could keep with our audience, keep up with it, but basically just saying like we're getting designed, filtered information, and so we're being suppressed by not getting the unfiltered raw information to be able to make your own cognitive decision on what's really happening around you.
For sure. And not only with the candidates, I mean, just when to vote, what's going on, and all those different things. So on the...
Right, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
so you're talking, so like PSAs
correct.
of saying,
Correct.
hey, it's voting time in about 21 days. This is where you
early
go
voting. Hey,
go to this,
right.
check out who it is. Matter of fact, let's just make a commercial. This is who's running for this, who's doing it.
Correct.
Like things of that sort. It seems like that should be.
Correct. And
I like that.
I've always said, to me, I think that's one of the strategies that Republicans have enacted in Texas, and typically having these senators and governors races in the off year elections, and so low turnout. Hey,
yeah,
they win every time by a margin. Like I said, everybody got all these gripes with Greg Abbott and all these other people, but every time you turn around, boom, 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 boom. And so that's one part of it. And so like, man, I think the other part about it, man, is sometimes I do get like sick and tired of the voter suppression conversation. Only reason because I feel that like it's what a lot of candidates are using to fundraise. And for me, I think a bigger issue than voter suppression, because I think that obviously this is a chess game, so both sides are playing games with the voting. Like, yes, I would not deny. I'd be crazy to say that like they not trying to play games either side, whether it's through the redistricting and gerrymandering, which you know what I'm saying, like we'll talk about another time. But I mean that's why a lot of this stuff is set up the way it's set it, because they redraw the districts, and so when they redraw the districts. To me, when you're talking about voter suppression, it's like you're too late. They're already, drawing it up like how they need it. But even beyond that, one thing that I wish both of particularly the Democrats, because that's what we talk about, because that's who I always talk about voter suppression. Even though, like I said, this
is open.
Even though the Republicans be lying, like they not playing games as well.
Yeah.
So like that's where they be like, okay, like people think that like people like us, when we saying something, it's like, oh yeah, you defending them, and it's like, nah, like I know they devils and playing games as well, but it's just like not this. Mm-hmm. So to me, what I really was trying to get to is, I wish that the Democrats would address why more registered voters are not voting versus trying to find this imaginary people that have never voted and don't vote, or whatever the case may be. So I think that voter suppression is kind of like chasing this ghost that don't exist for this population that's out there that's never voted or whatever the case may be, versus all those people that are registered that sit home.
That's where the rubber meets the road for me. What you just said right there.
Yeah, man.
The imaginary voters that they're looking for.
Yeah.
Because I sat and did the numbers. The numbers feel like it can't lie. I feel like it's definitely a question there of like, just the rundown. 49 million blacks. 33 million registered voters. Black. People who went to census and signed it in black. That's fucking amazing. That's awesome. That's a lot. 33. Out of that, 11% will make it to the polls to go vote. That's 3 million some odd people. So that leaves 33 million, 49 million subtract. That's 16 million people that are unregistered, unvoted, can't vote, never registered, don't even nothing. There's 30 million that are still registered that no one try to rallies up, because we're not saying there's 3 million that the 3 million registered that will go vote. We're not saying those are 3 million Democratic voters. Those are 3 million voters. So those are independents. Those are couch voters. Those are down the ballot voters. Those are Democratic voters and Republican voters, all wrapped in that 3 little million. We have won little battles with that 3 million situation. We have won. So just imagine if the Democratic Party took time to rally and galvanize that 30 million that is registered, because they already took the first step. They don't have to worry about the ID and shit. They already are there. Then just rallying that, I feel like, and I'll land my plane here in a second. Just rallying, I feel like that will spark something in the 16 million, because in that 16 million, some of those are probably underage people. Those are people incarcerated, maybe the elderly, and those kind of things of that sort. But at the same time, why are we, why is it they're rallying that? Because that seems like, again, it goes along with the doctrine of they will focus on everything else but us. And why won't they focus on us? And it keeps going back to, what is this, political? Is this racial? Is it they want to perpetually keep us in one spot? When I say us, we're talking about the black population, because I'm not referring that I'm a Democrat or any of that stuff. I'm just more referring to, like, I'm black first. I'm black, part of the black population.
For sure.